Now let's move on to demodulation of FM. So let us try to analyze how to demodulate FM. What do you mean by demodulation? It is a process which enables to recover original message from the modulated signal. Here we are looking at frequency modulated signal. So from the frequency modulated signal, you have to get back the original message signal. Okay. So there are two types of demodulation. The first type makes use of frequency discriminators. I had already told you what it is. Anyway, we'll discuss again about that. And under this frequency discriminator category, we'll be studying a single slope detector and dual or balanced slope detector. So we are going to study dual or balanced slope detector and also single slope detector. Okay. Then we have phase discriminators. Under phase discriminators, we have three different methods. The Foster-Seeley discriminator, based on the name of the people who devised this technique, the ratio discriminator or the ratio method, and last one is using a phase locked loop. PLL stands for phase locked loop. So out of all these three here, we have only PLL in our syllabus. These two we don't study. Here we study both, but in this we'll be studying PLL. So among these things, usually they'll ask either this balanced slope detector or PLL commonly in the exam. Okay. So first let's see what is a frequency discriminator. As I was telling you the other day, a frequency discriminator is a circuit, say, which will vary the amplitude or voltage of a signal in accordance with frequency. So, a frequency discriminator is a circuit whose amplitude changes according to the frequency. So, for example, if you consider an FM signal, remember an FM signal has high frequency, it has low frequency, again very high frequency, right? So if I consider an FM signal as input to this discriminator circuit, it can be considered as input to a discriminator circuit. What would the output be? I had spoken about this. What would the output be? This output would be changing in amplitude when frequency increases, and it is going to have lesser amplitude when frequency decreases. So you have both amplitude and frequency modulation possible in a signal. This becomes combined AM plus FM after a frequency discriminator. So after frequency discriminator, both FM and AM will be combined. So you will get the look of the signal will be something like this. This is a basic frequency discriminator circuit. So please understand, whatever discriminator which we are going to study should give us characteristics something similar to this. Okay. The characteristics should be similar to what we have spoken. So let's first see the single slope detector. As the name indicates, this single slope detector will make use of one single slope out of a parallel resonant circuit. I am going to make use of a parallel tuned LC circuit. This R can be written exclusively or it can be considered as part of this L. Remember, whatever inductor windings you consider, it will always have some amount of resistance. And this parallel tuned LC circuit will always have a C and L in parallel. R can be written separately, or R will always be there as part of L and C, and output of this will be fed to a, can you tell me what circuit is this? Someone tell me what circuit is this? Yes? What is this circuit? Diode with R and C. You have forgotten this circuit? What is this? Isn't this the envelope detector which we studied? Envelope detector for demodulation of AM. We would feed the AM signal at the input of the diode, and at the output we would be able to get all the peaks of the AM signal detected or the envelope detected. So this is an envelope detector, and this is called, this LC circuit is called as a single tuned circuit. This is a single tuned circuit. Now the FM signal which we want to demodulate will be giving as input to this circuit. So the single slope detector will accept the FM signal as input at this point, and let's say at this point the output is V1 of t, and at the final output it is V0 of t. Okay. Now, what is the job of this single tuned circuit? Can somebody tell me what will be the frequency response of a parallel tuned LC circuit? How will it look? Are you people there, or have you gone off for a break or what? Continued break. Please answer something, no? Why nobody is opening your mouth or nothing on the chat also? Yeah? Haven't you analyzed a parallel tuned LC circuit? L and C in parallel will give you what kind of frequency response? The frequency response would be something similar to that of a band pass filter. See, whenever you make use of a parallel LC circuit, you are going to get the response similar to that of a band pass filter. Remember, we had used the same parallel tuned LC circuit as band pass filter when we considered generation of AM. In square law method, in ring modulator, everywhere, the band pass filter would usually have parallel tuned LC circuit. So you should be familiar with that. Please try to correlate one to the other. What you study in one chapter shouldn't be left there itself. Okay. So a parallel tuned LC circuit acts like a band pass filter, and it will give you a response something like this. The bandwidth depends on the values of L and C. Usually, we are going to operate this single slope detector in this range. So, I am going to operate, I'll fix up the carrier frequency of the FM circuit somewhere in the center of this rising range, and here I am going to get the highest frequency deviation till this linear point Fc plus delta F, and this point will be Fc minus delta F. Okay. So you are going to work the FM demodulation in this range. You can also work in the falling range, but this should be avoided. So out of the three different regions of operation, either the increasing slope or decreasing slope can be used for single slope detection, but you can't use this broadened highest magnitude portion. Why? Because please remember all these discriminators will be working on the principle of frequency discrimination, in the sense whenever frequency of the signal changes, its amplitude should change. That is the logic behind a frequency discriminator. So if I should use frequency discrimination technique, which is going to be used in this single and dual slope detector, I have to operate either in this rising slope or falling slope. Okay. So any one of them is okay. What happens here? You get the same characteristic. If I am operating in the rising slope, I'll get the same characteristic like that of a frequency discriminator. We saw in the last slide. See this kind of characteristics. As frequency changes, amplitude changes. So if at all you give an FM input, you are going to get an output which will be combination of FM and AM. High frequency components will generate higher amplitude in the final output, and low frequency component will generate lesser amplitude or lesser magnitude. So you are going to get here, you are going to get AM plus FM output. So what is V1 of T? V1 of T, the output of the single slope circuit or the single tuned circuit will be AM plus FM. Okay. You're going to get combination of AM and FM. Now, if I want to extract the message, to extract message from V1 of T, what are we doing? I'm using the AM detector or the envelope detector. So we know that I'm going to get amplitude and frequency modulated signal. So you're going to have frequency modulation also. You're going to have amplitude modulation also in the signal. So since you have a signal like this, if I pass it through an envelope detector, what happens? The envelope of this signal will be detected. So you're going to be able to detect the envelope of this signal or that line, that imaginary line joining the peaks, all the peaks. Since I'm using diode only in this direction, I'm going to detect only the positive peaks in the waveform, and this will be the output. The output will be in this shape, which is similar to your message. So what is the essence of demodulators? Demodulators are those circuits which should help you get back the message signal. And here you are able to get back the message signal because we are making use of a frequency discriminator like a single slope detector. So it can use either this slope or this slope. Is this concept clear to you? Okay. Any doubts? Please answer something. Do you have any doubts or shall we continue?
No doubts, ma'am.
Okay. So why you people have become unusually silent? Here, the advantages of this technique is it is very simple and easy to realize. Simple, easy to use or easy to realize, and not very costly. So it is quite cheap or cost effective, but it has a set of disadvantages. The disadvantages are that sudden amplitude variations. We say spurious amplitude variation. Say I have a sudden peaking in amplitude, say due to lightning or something. Remember, we are sending the signal on air. So when there was a storm or lightning, there is a sudden variation in amplitude. Then your envelope detector is going to track this variation. So in the output also you will see the envelope detected like this. This envelope will go to this peak value and again it will be. The message will not be a pure sine, but it will include all those amplitude variations or disturbances which are caused due to noise. Okay. So the effects of noise will be high and it cannot be eliminated in this circuit. And also it has severe nonlinearity effects, and it also causes harmonic distortion. So the first effect is noise due to sudden variations. The second is due to it has harmonic distortion due to severe nonlinearity. Remember, in power amplifiers we studied, whenever there is nonlinearity, high nonlinearity in a device, that causes harmonic distortion. So nonlinearity is present in this circuit. Is that clear? So this completes our discussion of single slope detector. With this, let's move on to balanced slope detector, also known as dual slope detector. So this is a dual or balanced slope detector. So what happens in this balanced slope detector? We make use of two slope detector circuits connected as shown. So this is slope circuit 1, H1 of F is its response. Slope circuit 2, H2 of F is its response. And now, as usual, we feed the output of the slope circuit to envelope detector in both the arms. Upper arm as well as lower arms, both are fed to envelope detector after slope circuit. Now, the usefulness of this dual slope detector comes in this last step. We use a subtractor. As you can see, everything is indicated with a summing sign only, but you observe the signs here. It is plus here and minus here, which means the second arm signal, this signal gets, if I call this signal as S1 of t and this signal as S2 of t, the final output is obtained as S1 minus S2 of t. Okay. So why this is an advantage, we will see as we analyze this circuit further. Now you see the output voltage of frequency discriminator will be, I'll not talk about this. Let's go directly to this circuit. So here the actual circuit, the actual realization of the block diagram which we saw looks something like this. So on the input side, at the primary of the transistor, I have a parallel tuned LC circuit. This is tuned to the what? It is tuned to the frequency of the carrier. Usually this primary of the transformer will be tuned to the carrier frequency. At the secondary, I am splitting the secondary windings to two halves, and we are going to make use of a center tap. So we have a center tap. You can draw it continuously like this also and show the center tap. So the secondary windings makes use of a center tap, and the upper half of the transformer secondary will have an inductance value. Let me consider this as, say, L1 or L2, whatever you want, you can take. Say L2, and there is a capacitor here. This is C3, and the lower half of inductance is of value L3, and the capacitor value is C4. Now, this combination forms one parallel tuned LC circuit, so this is one single slope circuit, what we studied. One single slope circuit or one parallel tuned LC circuit, which will be tuned to the frequency FC plus delta F. Okay. So we choose the values of this L2 and C3 in such a way that it gives us maximum output voltage at the frequency FC plus delta F. Similarly, this lower part of the circuit L3, the second half of the transformer windings, and C4 will be tuned to the frequency Fc minus delta F. Okay, the minimum output frequency in an FM wave is Fc minus delta F. The highest output frequency is Fc plus delta F. So you see the upper half of the transformer secondary is tuned to the higher carrier frequency, the higher frequency generated Fc plus delta F, and the lower half is tuned to the lower carrier frequency Fc minus delta F. And once this happens, I know at this point I am going to get AM plus FM wave. So here also you are going to get AM and FM. The FM wave will also change in amplitude according to the frequency. High frequency components get high amplitude, low frequency components get low amplitude. Okay. So it changes both in amplitude and frequency. And now I'll pass on this signal whose amplitude and frequency are both changing through an envelope detector. So this part of the circuit is your envelope detector. Same thing we have here also. See, the lower half also we have another envelope detector. So we have two envelope detectors, two slope circuits. That's why the name balanced dual slope circuit or balanced discriminator we call it as. I'll tell you why balanced. Okay, dual slope I think you understood because of two slope circuits, two envelope detectors. If the output generated after the upper half is called V01 or V01, that at lower half is V02. The final output signal, if you remember, we used what? We used a summing with signs like this. So the signal here will be subtracted, the signal this will be added. So the final output signal will always be V01 minus V02. V01 is in this direction, V02 is in opposite direction. So we are going to get the difference of these two signals. Now, let's try to analyze the working. I told you this primary will be tuned to the carrier frequency and it can vary as the carrier frequency changes in the FM signal. But as the carrier frequency increases, see, as FC increases in the FM, what happens? The upper portion of the circuit, the upper portion of the secondary circuit, the upper half of the secondary circuit will be tuned to the frequency Fc plus delta F, and hence the output, what happens? V01 will become greater than V02. So this part becomes much more tuned than the lower half because we are moving towards the frequency Fc plus delta F. Remember, the upper half is supposed to perform well at the higher frequency. So as we increase the frequency in the FM signal, as we move towards Fc plus delta F, we'll see the output of the upper slope detector, that is V01, will surely be greater than the output of the lower circuit V02. Okay, so that means V01 minus V02 will be a positive value. We are going to get a positive value at the output whenever the input frequency is increasing. Okay, I hope you are following this. Now, can you tell me what happens as the input frequency is decreasing? As the instantaneous frequency of the FM signal decreases, which slope detector should be getting more voltage? Yes? The lower slope detector will be gaining more voltage. Okay? The upper slope detector will not get more voltage, but the lower slope detector will be it is moving towards its tuning frequency. The tuning frequency of the lower slope detector was Fc minus delta F, which corresponds to the minimum frequency in the FM signal. So what is happening here? As this instantaneous carrier at the input, as this frequency is decreasing, the lower half of the transformer secondary part will be moving towards its tuning frequency. So what happens when lower half is moving towards Fc minus delta F? So you can say the output from the lower half will surely be higher than output from upper half. V02, the final output voltage from the lower half, will surely exceed V01 because the lower part is achieving tuning. So when this happens, what happens? When V02 becomes greater than V01, the output voltage will be negative, and when V01, this part is more than V02, the output voltage is positive. Okay, and the ideal condition when the instantaneous frequency is at carrier, when Fi is equal to carrier frequency, then output of upper slope detector circuit will be same as output of lower slope detector circuit. Therefore, what happens to the final output voltage? The final output voltage would be 0. Okay. So this is how we are going to analyze the working of a dual slope detector. See, usually this question is asked for theory. They'll ask to explain the working of a balanced discriminator or dual slope detector. Now I think you can tell me the reason why this is called balanced discriminator. Can somebody tell me the reason? You know the working? What is the reason that it is called balanced discriminator? Yes? Please speak up. What are you all doing? What do you mean by discriminator? Something which shows a change in output behavior depending on the some parameter of the input. Here that some parameter is frequency. If input signal frequency changes, the output voltage is going to change, right? So that is a discriminator. You can see how the frequency response looks for this balanced discriminator or dual slope detector. You see the upper, okay, so the upper tuned circuit will generate one frequency response like this, and this maximum frequency is Fc plus delta F, okay, and the lower slope detector has opposite direction of diode, so it will generate another response like this, and this corresponding frequency is Fc minus delta F. So the lower slope circuit is tuned to this frequency Fc minus delta F. Upper slope circuit is tuned to the frequency Fc plus delta F, right? So what happens in the combined effect? Whenever I am doing V01 minus V02, you see this part is retained and I am going to get the output something like this. The combined output of frequency response of a balanced discriminator. So this is the response of upper LC circuit. This is the response of lower LC circuit. Okay. and the combined response is given by this curve. So the combined response of both LC circuits, okay, is as shown here. So you can see the same diagram here. Amplitude response of lower tuned filter, amplitude response of high upper tuned filter, and the net response of both combined together. So what are we trying to achieve in this range? Can you tell me what improvements are we going to get when compared to single slope detector? Range. The combined response surely has a higher linear range when compared to a single slope circuit. In the previous case, when we did single slope circuit, the linear range was very small. You can notice in this equation, the linear range of the output here is only very, very small. After that, it goes to non-linearity. We can't use. Whereas here, the linear range is higher, okay, and the response and stability is better. So higher linear range, better stability, and linear response, okay. So this is about the working of a dual slope detector or a balanced discriminator, and its frequency response characteristics is the one in the center. Here, let me tell you, this derivation actually requires the study of something known as complex envelopes, pre-envelopes, and Hilbert transforms. We need to know lots of mathematical background if we have to understand this derivation. So what I'll do, I am going to record all those concepts and send it. Those who are interested can read through. But as I have already mentioned, this is commonly not asked in the exam for derivation. So as of now, until now, they haven't ever asked the derivation of this. And bad luck is that for you, they haven't included any of the concepts of complex envelope, pre-envelope. It was there in the earlier syllabus. For them, this derivation was okay. For you, all those concepts have been removed, but this derivation cannot be done without those concepts. Without that mathematical and analytical background, I can't derive this equation. So, as of now, for those of you who are good at remembering, it's easy if you just remember these equations. So, you just see in the analysis, the input FM signal. The first equation represents the input FM signal. So, coming to this derivation, as I was telling you, the input to this circuit is the FM wave. You say the input at this point. The input at this point is the FM wave, which is given by this equation, standard equation of FM, AC cos 2 pi FCT plus 2 pi KF integral M of t dt. Okay. Next, output of the upper tuned circuit. The output of the upper tuned circuit before the envelope detector at this point, okay, output of the upper tuned circuit here is S1 of T, output of the lower tuned circuit here is S2 of T. After the envelope detector, we call it as V01 of T and V02 of T, okay. So just after the parallel LC circuit, the output S1 of T is given by this equation. So what you are able to see, can you see a signal? Actually, it's very easy to remember. You are this part cosine 2 pi fc plus 2 pi kf integral m of t is there as it is. The amplitude has changed. AC has become AC into some more values. So this clearly shows this signal is FM plus AM. This part indicates that it is FM. This part, change in the magnitude of AC, indicates that it is AM. So remember, that's what we were supposed to get at the output of a single tuned circuit. We had to get AM plus FM signals. So you clearly see the amplitude changing as well as frequency changing. So we are getting AM plus FM at the output. Okay. Similar to this, output of the lower tuned circuit will be exactly the same equation, except that this plus sign will be replaced with a minus sign. So it is easy for you to remember also that plus sign will be replaced with a negative or minus sign, and the rest of the equation remains the same. Okay. And finally, once I have the output of the two slope circuits S1 and S2, that S1 is given to the envelope detector 1, which generates the output V01 of T, which is given as what? I should get only the envelope. What is the envelope of this combined signal? See, this part, the cosine represents the phase. It is the angle of the signal. Yes or no? So this represents theta I of the signal. If I write only so much, it represents theta I, and cosine will represent the type of signal. Right. I am not interested in the angle of the signal. I am going to get only amplitude of the signal at the output of envelope detector. The job of envelope detector is to extract the amplitude or envelope of the signal. So what have we done? We have taken only this amplitude part and kept it here. AC small a pi b into 1 plus 2 kf by capital B m of t. Okay. So just the amplitude of the cosine is extracted after envelope detector. Similarly, S2, when it is sent through the lower envelope detector 2, we get the output of that envelope detector as this magnitude AC A pi B 1 minus 2 kf by B m of t. Okay. And final output of the adder will be V01 of t minus V02 of t. You can see only the first terms will get added. Sorry, the first terms will get cancelled. The second term gets added. You have this one and this one will be cancelled. You have AC A pi B into 4 kf by B m of t. So whatever cancels, after cancelling out that B, which is there in this numerator and denominator, if I cancels out, if I cancel out, what remains here is 4 pi a. So what does this show us? What are we trying to get here? What is the job of the balance discriminator? So here we try to get back the message from the modulated signal. That is the job of a demodulator. And the demodulator which we are studying here is the balance discriminator or dual slope detector. So as you can see, the final output gives us a signal which is proportional to the message m of t. You are able to get back the message scaled with some other amplitude 4 pi a AC kf. That scaling factor doesn't matter to us. Irrespective of the magnitude of the message, if you are able to detect the message correctly, your job is done. This is the essence of the balanced discriminator or the dual slope detector. Okay. So we essentially give the FM input to upper and lower slope circuits which have responses H1 of F, H2 of F, and the output here, this should be S1 of T, this should be S2 of T, and here what we are getting, this is, what did we call this as? This is V01 of T, and this is V02 of t, and the final output is also in terms of V01 minus V02. So it is V01 minus V02 of t, and the working of the circuit can be clearly explained with this equation. Whenever the input frequency is not changing, whenever the instantaneous frequency is equal to that of carrier frequency, both V01 and V02 will be equal to each other. That's why output will be 0. This is when the input frequency is same as the carrier. Whenever the input frequency is more than the carrier frequency, the upper slope detector output will be higher than lower slope detector. So you're going to get this difference as a positive value. And whenever the input FM signal frequency is less than the carrier frequency, you get V02 much higher than V01. Hence, this will be a negative value. So if you can explain this equation and the working in words easily and write only these steps in the derivation, you will be getting full marks. We will not struggle to do this, because when I did it last time, the students felt it is quite difficult because so many new concepts of mathematics had to be used. And I have to teach those concepts and then explain all of this, which is not worth it because they don't expect the whole thing. Even in your textbook, only so much is given. But for those of you who are interested, I'll surely post the complete derivation along with the required mathematics. And if at all anybody is interested, you can message me. I will also make a video of the derivation if needed. Okay. Otherwise, this is more than sufficient. Every time they ask you to write down the circuit of this balance discriminator and explain its working along with the frequency response. So this frequency response characteristic also you should be able to draw correctly. Is this okay? Any doubts with this? Any doubts in this? So if there are no doubts, I just want you to make a note of the disadvantages. Did I speak of the disadvantages here? No. You just say disadvantages is the spectrum of the FM signal. Spectrum of the FM signal will have to be within this range. See, this is the linear range which we are giving. This is the lower end, this is the higher end. And as you can see, this is the linear range in which we have to operate. We shouldn't operate the circuit in this falling part or in this part. The circuit should be operated only in this range. So the spectrum of FM signal should have bandwidth lying within the linear range. The bandwidth should lie within the linear range of the discriminator, linear range of the balanced discriminator. So this is one problem. And the second one is, since we are using dual tuned circuits, two tuned circuits, so even if they are not perfectly aligned or balanced, see, the main essence of this is both the upper half and lower half should work exactly similar. In the sense, whenever the carrier comes, both should generate the same level of voltages V01 and V02, and that should cancel out and give you final output as 0. But if there is a slight mismatch in the working, say the upper slope circuit gives a small output and the lower one doesn't give anything, so that won't give us the correct output. So there should be perfect matching between the two slope circuits and the envelope detector parts. Okay. So if not, there will surely be distortion in the output. So that's the second disadvantage. And the third disadvantage is finding this center tab in a transformer, we know, is a difficult job. So perfect alignment will be obtained if I get the exact center of the secondary windings. If I don't get that exact center, then that is quite difficult. So please understand the three disadvantages are, first of all, the bandwidth of the FM signal should lie within this linear range of operation. Second is the matching between the two halves. The upper half and lower halves should be perfectly matched. The upper tuned circuit and lower tuned circuit to be perfectly matched. And the last disadvantage is finding the center tap. Finding the center tap in a transformer secondary is very, very tough. It is a very, very difficult job to find the exact center of a given windings. So because of these three problems, this is not used too much for detection. We go for a phase detection technique known as PLL. PLL is more commonly used for detection than these frequency discriminators, whether it is single slope detector, whether it is dual slope detector, whatever. We actually have a simple differentiator circuit will also act like a frequency discriminator. If you are interested, you can analyze and see. So you just take the FM equation and differentiate it. It will be giving you the output message which could be taken out using an envelope detector. So there are many ways of doing it, but these are not commonly used as the second method which we are going to discuss in the next class, that is PLL. Okay.